I seek refuge with Allah from the outcast devils. While I was showering, I noticed a shadow move behind the curtain, a tall, eerie female figure, about 5 feet 7 inches, seen from the side. She was draped in tattered cloth, her profile gaunt and haunting, with arms stretched out in front of her as she silently searched for me. For a moment, I froze. The water pounded against my back, but all I could hear was the sound of my own breathing, shallow, quick, and panicked. I dared not move. Her shadow lingered, slow and deliberate. Then she stopped. Her head tilted, just slightly, and it felt like she was listening. I backed up, pressing myself against the cold tile wall. The curtains separated us by only a thin sheet of plastic, fluttering slightly from the steam. I reached for something, anything, but my hands were slick, and the bar of soap clattered uselessly to the floor. That sound, just that small sound, was enough. The shadow jerked toward the noise, not walked, not stepped, just shifted, as though gravity had no claim over her. Her outstretched hands now hovered inches from the edge of the curtain. I held my breath. And then, she spoke. A voice barely a whisper, fragile and cold, like wind slipping through a cracked window.
Where are you?
The words sent a chill through the steam, cutting deeper than the cold tile at my back. I didn't answer. I couldn't, and of course never answer to anything strange like this. My throat felt locked, heart thundering in my chest, loud enough I was sure she could hear it. All of a sudden, several stretched, distorted faces began to emerge from the shower walls. Their hollow eyes scanned the room, heads twisting unnaturally as they listened and searched for me in silence. One of the faces emerged inches from mine on the right side, its skin pulled tight over sharp features. I jolted back, instinctively covering my mouth to silence the scream rising in my throat. Of course, they were on the ceiling too. Faces stretched and warped, pressing through the surface as if the walls and ceiling were made of flesh. Their milky eyes rolled in every direction, scanning, searching. Some opened their mouths wide, lips barely moving as they whispered in haunting unison.
Where are you?
The question echoed in the stillness, not loud, but felt like a chill crawling beneath my skin. The room suddenly felt smaller, the air too thick. My vision blurred for a moment as I tried to make sense of what was happening. This had to be a dream, or something worse. I had to move. Heart pounding, I reached out with trembling hands and slowly pushed the curtain aside. Steam clung to my skin as I stepped out of the shower, the cold air hitting me like ice. I grabbed my towel, barely able to wrap it around myself before I froze. I had forgotten about her, the one behind the shower curtain, and now, somehow, I was standing right in front of her. Face to face. Her eyes were open, but glazed over, pale and unseeing. The rags hung from her like soaked paper, clinging to her frame as she tilted her head slightly, as if listening for my breath. But somehow, this time she still couldn't see me. I covered my mouth with my hand, stifling the scream building in my throat. She leaned in, her breath cold against my cheek.
I know you're here. Where are you?
She whispered, her voice trailing into something between a moan and a growl. Her fingers twitched. I backed up slowly, my heart hammering in my chest. Every movement felt like it could set her off, like one wrong sound would make her turn and grab me. But then, something strange happened. I noticed she couldn't touch me. Her arms stretched out, reaching, but they never quite crossed the invisible line between us. It was as if some unseen barrier kept her at bay, no matter how desperately she tried. I could feel the air around me shift, thick with the strange energy she exuded, but it was as if her hands couldn't close the distance. Her head tilted sharply to the side, and she made a low, guttural sound, like a whisper or maybe a growl.
You're close. I can feel you.
I didn't dare move any faster, too afraid of drawing attention to myself. My heart raced as I slowly reached for the bathroom door, my hand trembling as I grasped the handle. I cracked it open just a fraction, careful not to make a sound, and stepped out with my right foot. I said the dua, "O Allah, I seek forgiveness and pardon from you. All praise be to Allah, who has taken away from me discomfort and granted me relief." The air outside the bathroom felt warmer, almost comforting compared to the cold dread I'd just escaped. But I didn't hesitate. My eyes darted back at the figure, still searching with her arms stretched out. But she made no move toward me. This was the power of a simple dua before entering the restroom. By reciting it, I had unknowingly shielded myself. I became invisible to what lurked beyond the veil, untouchable, unharmed. She could sense me, but not reach me. As long as I stayed silent, as long as I held to that protection, she was powerless. And if you're wondering what it was like before I became a Muslim and knew about this dua, well, I can tell you, it was like living inside one of those Thai horror films. Dark, relentless, and terrifying in ways words can barely describe. A reminder, sometimes what may seem like a small act of faith can serve as a barrier between us and the unseen. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed my story. Good night.